purpose organizations in Southeast Asia. And we are very happy to see here with us a diverse group of participants today. So from the poll, I can tell that we have some participants from Indonesia, Philippines, Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, and I think a handful from India as well. So we're very happy to be able to convene participants from different regions to join us here today. And just before we start, a quick introduction to myself and the DoShare team who is supporting the webinar today. So I'm Joy from the AVPN DoShare team, and supporting me on this webinar today, I have Natasha, the manager of DoShare, and she will be moderating the Q&A later, as well as my colleague Faye, who is supporting on any technical issues that you might face. So just a few housekeeping announcements before we move to the webinar proper. So the announcements are also shown on the screen, but if at any point of time during the webinar that you might get disconnected or have a bad connection, you can try to exit the webinar and re-enter using the same URL, because this might actually give you a better connection. And we will have a Q&A section at the end, so please feel free to use the question to panelist chat box to type in the question, which we will then answer them after this. And do note also that presentations for the questions, it will only be visible to the team, the internal AVPN team, but we will be monitoring this behind the scenes, and we will address as many of the questions as possible in the Q&A at the end. And also, if you face any technical issues, please reach out to my colleague, as mentioned in the announcement box at her email. And the webinar is also being recorded, so we will upload this recording in the events page post the webinar. So that is all for the housekeeping announcement, and moving on to the webinar proper. So the webinar that we are hosting today is to showcase how AVPN members, in particular funders and resource providers, can leverage on DoShare to support or help them in their impact journey. And we hope that this webinar would allow our members to be better equipped and empowered to use the DoShare tools to learn about how you can partner with us to accelerate your impact. And also, I see that we have a couple of non-AVPN members joining us in this webinar today. So I thought it might be useful to just give a quick background of AVPN before diving into the DoShare program proper. So AVPN, we are a leading ecosystem builder, and we aim to increase the flow of capital in the social investment community. We are the largest network in Asia with over 600 members looking to learn about best practices and ways to most efficiently deploy financial or non-financial capital. And our members' profile are diverse. We have impact investors, funds, corporates, foundation, family offices, service providers, intermediaries, and other government-related organizations who are deploying capital across various social sectors and markets across Asia. And our team at DoShare, we work closely with our members to support social purpose organizations in their investment journey and to allow them to scale. And while this webinar, we would be showcasing specific examples of our work in Southeast Asia. Members who are joining us from across regions, other regions beyond Southeast Asia, will also find this webinar helpful, because at AVPN, our work supports members throughout the whole of Asia. And if you are a social purpose organization, this would also help you in understanding how we engage with funders and resource providers to support SPOs, and how you might potentially be a part of our DoShare network. So a rough overview of the agenda of the webinar today. So I will start off by giving an overview of what DoShare is about, share about the online DoShare platform, the DoShare Live program, and introduce you to the Social Enterprise Development Toolkit for investment readiness. And also we have, with the current pandemic, we have also identified and mapped various COVID-19 initiatives from our network of SPO, which we will showcase a brief landscape of this later on as well. And following this, I will show a quick DoShare demo, a DoShare platform demo, where I will show you how to maneuver the platform to enable you to find out how you can source for a relevant pipeline of deals across different sectors and market, and as well as our upcoming DoShare market strategy in Indonesia, which we hope to pilot and replicate in other markets across Asia as well. And finally, we will end off with a Q&A session where we will answer some of the questions you might have. And so we welcome you to just key in any of the questions that you have in the panelist box as we go along the presentation. So we'll now start off with an overview of DoShare Objectives. So DoShare, we aim to bridge the gap between the demand and the supply. So we work with AVPN members to advance their work by building a pipeline of resources. So these could be financial, human, or intellectual capital to help this impact solution scale. And we are building a pipeline of social purpose organizations, or what we call SPOs in short, which are supported by our members. And SPOs refer to actually the umbrella term of impact organizations, consisting of for-profit social enterprises or inclusive businesses, and it also consists of not-for-profits as well as charities. And because we serve as kind of the bridge between the demand and the supply, we have a sound knowledge around the SPO's landscape and the support that they require, as well as insights around what members' resources there are and the kind of capital they deploy. So this put us in a relatively good position to better be able to efficiently connect as well as to convene different funders and resource providers in with SPOs. And as you can see in this slide, the DoShare program consists of two main avenues, which is the DoShare Platform as well as the DoShare Live. So the DoShare Platform is the online platform where we list projects endorsed or supported by our members. And the DoShare Platform provides visibility to the work of a pipeline of SPOs, while DoShare Live, it facilitates more in-depth conversations and interactive engagements, which can help to more efficiently allow our members to deploy their capital to SPOs. So we'll now take a deeper look at the DoShare Platform and the different ways in which members and SPOs can better utilize this. So the DoShare Platform is designed to provide a robust sourcing pipeline where members can browse and identify deals of interest for their own funding program. And as AVPN members, they can provide an endorsement for their portfolio SPOs to be listed on the DoShare Platform to get potential follow-on resources from other members. And if there's an interest from our members to connect to a fellow co-investor or SPOs that they wish to support, the DoShare team will be happy to assist in this connection. And we also do support our members in their sourcing efforts through curating a list of recommended deals according to the funding mandate which they can consider connecting and supporting. And if you are a social purpose organizations, as you can see here, having your solutions listed on the platform would increase the visibility of your work with the members, and there might also be opportunities for you to participate in curated DoShare Live events, which will open the door for you to connect with even more capital providers. And over here we showcase different thematic platforms which AVPN has developed. So these offer opportunities to aggregate efforts around pertinent social issues such as climate action, gender, and nutrition. So one of the platforms that we launched was the Climate Action Platform, which focused on solutions mitigating the effects of climate change as well as the climate adaptation strategies. And complementing this platform, we are also currently actively organizing related webinars, roundtables, convenings, and different DoShare Live pitching sessions for climate projects to be better connected with funders and resource providers. And at AVPN, we are also taking a deep dive into gender issues to mobilize more capital into solutions through various gender initiatives. Just an example, in partnership with our member, we recently organized a DoShare Live where we convene women founders of social enterprises from Philippines to pitch their solutions to delegates through a virtual DoShare showcase session. And another example we have is also the Inclusive Business Portal, where we partnered with an Inclusive Business Action Network to enable inclusive businesses in the region. So this enabled them to gain more access to funders who are interested in inclusive deals. So the thematic platforms that we have actually provide quite a robust pipeline of quality deals in very specific social causes. And we always are happy to welcome interest from other members who would like to join us as a supporting partner if you would like to help further develop some of the other initiatives in these social causes. And these platforms can all be found on our website. I will also include quick links for you if you want to access them at the end of the webinar. And moving on to actually the newest platform that we have, which is the COVID-19 Platform, which AVPN has developed in response to the pandemic. And in this platform, we highlight members' resources and initiatives that have been implemented across Asia. So these resources could range from funding programs, competition, online toolkits, resources, or other pro bono support that members are offering for SPOs affected by the COVID-19. And as part of our efforts to kind of match these resources with SPOs' needs, the DoShare team also reached out to our network of SPOs for them to showcase initiatives that they have supporting communities on the ground in response to the COVID-19. And with this, we have met over 40 SPOs initiatives that range from various solutions like immediate relief efforts to new solutions like telehealth or even e-learning platforms that our SPOs have developed to support their communities remotely. And as a funder or a resource provider, the COVID-19 platform will be a good avenue for you to source for projects that you can support at this time. And we would also be very happy to explore working with different members to curate a tailored program if there are specific initiatives that you would like to develop to support SPOs in relation to this pandemic. Similarly, the link to this COVID-19 platform is shown in the links section at the end of the webinar, or you can go to our website just to see more deals related to this. And zooming in into an analysis of the landscape of deals on the DoShare platform with a Southeast Asia lens, we have over 170 unique SPOs listed on the platform. And these are active in Southeast Asia. A majority of these deals, as we have analyzed, are focused on social sectors like education, livelihood, agriculture, and health. And we have a good mix of for-profit and not-for-profit organizations across the various markets. And they are all seeking different types of financial resources, as well as different non-financial resources. And we have identified the top non-financial resources are actually access to networks, fundraising support, and also marketing support. So I will provide a quick demo of the DoShare platform towards the end of the webinar, just so you can see how it is, how you can maneuver the different filters. And following on from the DoShare platform, we now move on to DoShare Live, which are curated engagements to further deepen the understanding of the deals from the platform and to more effectively convene relevant stakeholders with SPOs. And DoShare Live takes different formats, as you can see here. It could be an offline format or it could be an online engagement. So just some examples that we have listed here. For example, at our most recent AVPN Southeast Asia Summit in Bali, we organized impact trips for our delegates to visit SPOs on the ground in Bali. And the more common examples we have will be our DoShare Live at AVPN conference, where we work with selected SPOs to pitch and showcase their work to funders and resource providers at the conference itself. And this year we are curating online pitching or showcase sessions at the virtual AVPN virtual conference, which I can also share a little bit more about that later on. And in addition to this, we also work with our members to curate business clinics or workshops or even mentorship program where our members who are typically the expert in various technical advisory or various sectors, they will provide their services to SPOs to mentor them in different specific issues that they face. And last year, we also partnered with one of our corporate member, Prudential Foundation, to curate the disaster technology competition, where we supported them in crowdsourcing for a pipeline of disaster technology deals across Asia. And these projects also receive capacity building support and grant funding from our members. So as you can see here, we can be versatile with the format of the DoShare Live program. We are rather flexible in curating different sort of formats according to what would best suit our members' needs, as well as the objective to showcase these SPOs' work to funders. And we're always happy to explore with you, if there are interested members, on how we can partner with you to curate a more tailored DoShare Live program to help to showcase and develop the capacity of your portfolio of SPOs. And forging targeted connection is actually a very important aspect of the work that we do at DoShare. So in this slide, I'm showcasing how we have worked closely with our members to match their resources to targeted SPOs that fit their program mandate. So just this year, we nominated a list of relevant SPOs for one of our Korean member Work Together Foundation, because they were looking for SPOs in Southeast Asia providing employability solutions for youth. And we were happy to have 3 of the SPOs nominated from our DoShare network to be successfully awarded with the grant funding. And another engagement we have is also with one of our members based in Japan, Crossfields. So they offer skilled-based volunteers from Japanese corporates to be paired with DoShare social purpose organizations for the volunteers to offer their technical expertise through infield attachments in various countries across Asia. And some of the other examples we have include technical advisory. So we also partnered with one of our members based in Cambodia, SPO Contact, where our social enterprises who require investment readiness support, they were paired with consultants who provided such investment readiness support and supported the SEs in their fundraising journey as well. And lastly, an example from Indonesia is that one of our members based in Indonesia, Principal Asset Management, so they have a social impact bond fund which they were hoping to nominate to get several SPOs or NPOs to be included in their beneficiary list. And with that, we actually helped to connect some of our NPOs to that, and one of them, Rachel House, who provide palliative care to children in Indonesia, was successfully part of this Indonesia's beneficiaries list. So just some of the examples that we have helped to successfully match resources from our members to SPOs. And we believe that there are even more opportunities for us to continue exploring how we can channel other resources and to deepen our engagement with resource providers. And now we move on to the next segment, which is the SE Development Toolkit or Social Enterprise Development Toolkit. As part of DoShare goal to bridge the gap between demand and supply, we launched the Social Enterprise Development Toolkit together with our members, Credit Suisse and Village Capital back then. And the objective of the toolkit is to develop a common language framework for investment readiness, utilizing the viral pathway, which is an investment readiness pathway developed by a venture capital firm, Village Capital. And with this toolkit, we hope that social enterprises are able to generate self-awareness, which would help them articulate which level of investment readiness they are at to investors, and in that process also identify what are the gaps and challenges that they need to have to get to the next level. And the toolkit also directs the social enterprises to recommended resources that will help them address these different challenges. So this is roughly the flow of how social enterprises can use the toolkit. Social enterprises can access the digitized version of the toolkit, which is available at our website. And once they take the self-assessment, which is a series of questions assessing them on various categories along the investment readiness scale, they will arrive at an overall level, like you can see this is level 1 of investment readiness. And then this will then direct them to resources. As you can see in the slide, there are several resources which actually appears, and these are all mapped to the results that they get from the investment readiness test. And with this toolkit, we have mapped over 250 resources from the AVPN members network that we identify as resources supporting social enterprises in investment readiness. So these are all different types of resources. Just to name a few, it could be a toolkit or funding, award competition, or different sort of courses, workshops, or webinars. And now that we have launched the toolkit for social enterprises, we are currently looking at ways in which funders and resource providers can actually use the toolkit as well. So if you are a funder investing in an SE, you might find the toolkit helpful to assess your portfolio companies along the investment readiness scale. So funders can use the toolkit to track social enterprises' progress and at the same time help them to identify what are the non-financial resources that they need to scale and grow with the toolkit. And if your organization has certain resources or services that you are looking for a pipeline of deals to deploy these resources, you can also partner with us so we can work with you to develop a model that will help in the deployment of your capital. And lastly, we recognize that the toolkit will need the toolkit to be able to tailor to different markets because different markets have different requirements for investment readiness. So I think it will be very relevant for the toolkit to be kind of tailored according to the local context. And we are looking at members who are interested to bring in the toolkit to their different markets to potentially partner with us and work together towards making the toolkit relevant for your different markets. And with that, I just want to share an example of our DoShare market strategy, which we are working on right now. We are looking at having deeper engagement with specific profiles of members so that these can help to support their program in various ways. And the example we are showing here, or one strategy that we are proposing to work on right now, is for our core market, Indonesia. So with this pilot of this strategy, we hope to be able to deepen our engagements with different profiles, like, for example, corporate and financial institutions, as well as with intermediaries like incubator and accelerator, to help support their program in sourcing for a pipeline of deals or curating community program for corporates, for example, to support social purpose organizations. So just an example here for one of our members in Stella, based in Indonesia. They provide incubation and advisory support to SPOs, and they have also endorsed several deals on the DoShare platform. And with this, we can always explore further deepening our partnership with intermediaries to support their listed deals to gain even more resources through DoShare platform and other DoShare live engagements. And I have also given this example earlier. We worked with our corporate member, Principal Asset Management, to nominate projects for their social impact fund. And we can always, we would love to explore further expanding our involvement with corporates to work closely with them to design a tailored program that can help in their CSR program or other employee engagement initiatives. And before we move to the Q&A, I will share right now a quick DoShare demo of a DoShare platform demo to show you how you can maneuver the platform and how you can use various filters to source for your own pipeline of deals. So just give me a second while I share my screen. Okay, I hope you can see my screen. So right now I'm at the DoShare Platform, which is here. You will find over 300 deals which are listed and all supported by our members. So if you are a member, you can actually look for deals through the platform using various filters. We have a region, beneficiary, different social causes, as well as SDG goals. And we also have endorsing member who have supported the SPOs through either financial or non-financial support, and what are the type of financing and non-financial service that they need. So over here, it's all the different projects that the SPOs have listed. If you hover over it, you can kind of see a brief one-liner of what the project is about. So let's just take one example. If I were to go to a deal based in Indonesia and in climate change. So I'm just going to switch my window. So one example of the deal, this is how the deal looks like. If you click into it, you can see what the project is about. So this is a project by one of the social enterprise based in Indonesia, Bali. It's called Java Mountain Coffee, and this shows a brief one-pager teaser of their project. So we have the endorser here, which is Investry, our AVPN member, and because Investry has provided loan support for them, so they could qualify as the endorser for the project to be listed here. And you can see here the text in green. It's relevant to the climate action platform because this project is very much related to climate change and mitigation. So we have included extra text for them to share about what is their approach and what is the area that they are working in climate. And you will see what is their financial support ask and what is the non-financial support that they need. And they can also upload, SPOs can also upload a pitch deck just to show their presentation. And you can see here the problem and the solution, and once again in green it is very specific technical details on the climate related measurement, what is the climate risk, climate capability, and also they can upload a video. And right here at the bottom you will see the SPO Contact. So Intan is the contact for the SPO, so if the member would like to connect with the SPO, they can always reach out to the DoShare team and we'll be happy to make the connection to the SPO, or even to the AVPN member who has supported them. So if you'd like to find out a little bit more about how they have supported them, or just to check on the credibility of the organization, we can also do that connection as well. So that's the DoShare platform. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. So I hope that demo shows just a very quick way that you can look at the DoShare platform. So currently the DoShare platform deals, the details of the deals are accessible to members only, and non-members, they can look at the deals on the front page just to see a brief description of each of these deals. And to summarize how DoShare supports our members program, as I've mentioned, this is achieved through two main avenues, which is the DoShare platform, where members can source for their own pipeline of deals and list and support their own portfolio of endorsed deals as well. And members can partner with us to curate DoShare Live program to create opportunities for SPOs to showcase their work and find partners through various formats. And because our program are ever evolving, and we are always happy to explore different sort of engagements and formats with members that can better suit their mandate and their program needs. So we'll be happy to discuss with any organization, a member organization, who want to partner with us to scope your program so that we can better support you through a range of programs, as you can see here. So it could start with a way in which we can work with you to scope for your project, identify what your program requires, and then we can source for a relevant pipeline of deals for you, as well as to connect this pipeline of supported deals with other funders and capacity builders in our network through designing different DoShare Live program, like pitching sessions or impact trips, for example, to showcase this SPO's work to an even wider network. And with that, we have come to the end of the presentation, and we will now move to the Q&A segment, which I will then hand over to Natasha to moderate this. And you can continue to input your questions into the question for panelists box right here, and we will be monitoring it as well. So Natasha, I will hand it over to you to ask the questions.
Thank you, Joy, and thank you everybody for joining us today and for sending your questions in. I'll begin with the Q&A. The first question, Joy, is what does endorsement of a deal mean?
Right, thanks, Natasha.
I'll pose this question to everyone so that we can see it as well.
So, endorsement of a deal would be any AVPN member who endorsed a deal would mean that the AVPN member has provided financial resources or non-financial resources. So, for example, it could be the member has provided investment or grant funding, or the SPO could have been part of the member's incubator or accelerator program, or they have received some sort of mentorship program from them. So in a way, we are also a little bit, it's also quite flexible in the way we term financial or non-financial support, but it is also up to the AVPN member to agree if they want to endorse the social purpose organizations. So if they have a good understanding of the SPO's work, they have supported them or currently am supporting them, and they are comfortable putting their logo on the deal SPO deal page, then we'll be happy to confirm this endorsement and to list the deals on the DoShare platform.
Great, thank you, Joy. I think my voice was a little soft earlier. I hope it's clearer for everybody. The next question is the DoShare portal only available for AVPN members, or is it open for everyone?
The DoShare portal, when you click into individual deals where we have specific details of their ask, the sectors, and also the SPO contact and members contact, that detail will be available to members only. But in terms of the front page, the one which I was showing a demonstration of earlier on the first page itself, so that will be applicable to anyone who visits the DoShare platform on our website. But once they click into each of the individual tiles, this would just be exclusive only to our members.
Thank you, Joy. Next question is, sorry, let me just give me 1 second. Do we have any activities or members or deals in Timor-Leste? I can answer this because we just did a quick check. Just give me a moment. So we do not have any SPOs that are based out of Timor-Leste, but we do have 2 deals that do some work there. Similarly, for members, we have members that do work there, but are not based out of Timor-Leste. Next question, Joy. Do the SPOs have to be AVPN members, or can non-members also join the DoShare platform, DoShare program?
Well, non-members, if you are not a funder or a resource provider, you can list your own project on the DoShare platform, provided you get an endorsement from another AVPN member. So the requirement to list the project for any AVPN member or non-member would be to have an endorser. So as I've mentioned, the endorser would be an AVPN member that has provided financial or non-financial support. So once they have that, then we can list the project on the DoShare platform if you are a non-member. And if you are an AVPN member and you want to list a project of your own on the DoShare platform, you would have to find another AVPN member that has supported this project, because an AVPN member cannot endorse its own project. So you would have to find another AVPN member that has supported this project to be the endorser. Natasha, did I miss the first part? Do you mind repeating the first part of the question? I'm not sure if I caught that.
I think it was just do the SPO have to be an AVPN member? So I think the what we need to clarify here is that the SPOs the SPOs are separate from the AVPN members. So SPOs are the ones that are listing their deal. So they're the ones seeking support, either financial or non-financial, and the AVPN members are the ones that are providing said capital. I hope that answers the question. Okay. Next question is, how does AVPN ensure the deals listed on the DoShare platform gets funded?
Right. This is a very common question that we get as well. Because I mean, for projects who list on the deals on the DoShare platform, there's always the expectation that they will get some sort of financial resources or successful non-financial resources to be connected. So for us, the platform, we provide a very good visibility for SPOs to showcase their work. And when they list their project, what we do at the DoShare team is that we will provide, for example, in the previous example I shared, we connect SPOs to resource providers that can provide grant funding or non-financial resources depending on when they have such relevant programs. So we do a lot of such nominations to try to get as many opportunities for SPO as possible. But at the same time, we cannot guarantee that all the deals on the platform will get some sort of opportunity from our member, because this is also very much dependent on what resources are available and what kind of programs are relevant at that time. And we do have seen a bit more success in the DoShare Live program, because I think that's a bit more curated in complementing the DoShare platform. So while we list deals on the platform, the DoShare Live, it's even more curated, so there's actually more interaction, more engagement, and the pitching session is actually very tailored to help SPOs pitch to funders and resource providers. So I think these engagements actually help to increase the chances of them getting funding or other sort of partnerships with the members. So yeah, we try to get a better understanding of having as many members partner with us and to have as many recognition of the resources that they have, so that we can introduce these resources to the SPOs as well.
Great, thank you, Joy. So this next question, I can take this one, is from Tomoko. It says, at this time of COVID-19 outbreak, what are some of the most needed support by SPOs, both non-financial and financial? So as Joy mentioned, we have done a survey, we've asked a survey from our SPOs regarding what are their immediate needs. So we did find that a lot of them are providing immediate relief, and they are mostly calling for donations. Okay, I think we can take a few more questions. Is there a way to filter time-sensitive issues like the COVID-19 outbreak? I believe this is on the DoShare platform.
Well, on the DoShare platform, our filters are based on social sectors, beneficiaries, and region. So these filters are the ones that also is in line with what our members' programs provide according to the different mandates that they have. In terms of time-sensitive ones like COVID-19, this would be, we have collated all of this on the COVID-19 platform, which Natasha shared earlier as well. So for these COVID-19 initiatives, well, we are still building the platform, so I think it's not as fleshed out as we would like it to be. But right now we have identified over 40 SPOs initiatives in COVID-19, and they're all in various segments as well, and they all require resources quite immediately. So I think if any of the members are interested to kind of offer their resources, we'll be happy to send you further information on how you can do that, and also to showcase your initiative in the COVID-19 platform.
Thank you. Next question is, what is the qualification for an SPO to be endorsed by a member and listed on the DoShare? Is there any list of criteria in the very first time?
Yeah, so the endorsement of the deal would be the most important criteria to list for SPO to list their project on the DoShare platform. So as long as they have an AVPN member endorsing their project, and endorsement, like I've said, is a financial or non-financial support. So if these projects are endorsed and we have received confirmation from the AVPN member, the SPOs the SPO's deal will be qualified to be listed on the DoShare platform. So all they have to do is to go online to fill out the online submission and then include the endorser name. And of course, the project will have to be will have to be related to the social causes and SDG goals, which we have outlined in the DoShare platform as well. So as long as it fits any of the social goals, it has a social impact, and it's looking for resources, then this would qualify as a deal to be listed on the DoShare platform.
Great, thanks. I think we have time for 2 more questions. This is the second last one. How long does a deal stay on the platform in average? Is there a definite time frame?
Well, right now, on the deal, we always recommend for the deal to stay on for as long as they are still looking for resources. So sometimes the deal may stay on for 6 months, sometimes it could be a year, depending on how quickly they are able to get resources, not just through the DoShare platform, but also from other avenues as well. So we do reach out to the SPOs to try to get them to update their deal page, because sometimes they might change their project or they might change the funding requirement. But typically, I would say it ranges from anytime from 3 months, 6 months, or even a year for the project to be listed. And yeah, so we just try to make it as refreshed as possible. But there's no kind of strict timeline as to when we would want the deal to be taken off. As long as it's still relevant and they are still fundraising and looking for resources, the deal will be listed on the platform.
Great, thanks, Joy. And our last question, and for the others that we were not able to answer now, we'll make sure that we get the answers to you through an email after the webinar. So Joy, the last question is, when is the next DoShare Live?
Yeah, actually, this question is a good segue to the next slide as well. So the next DoShare Live will be at our AVPN virtual conference. So for the upcoming AVPN conference, we have, I think, two or three DoShare Live sessions, which will showcase climate projects, as well as on the Social Enterprise Development Toolkit, which I've shared earlier, but more so on how funders are utilizing this SE toolkit. So we'll be happy to share more information, but you can find further information on the agenda page of our AVPN virtual conference website. And as you can see, we are going virtual for the conference this year, and we have a 5-day program of virtual convenings from the 8th to 12th of June. And now, this is the 8th year that we are conducting the AVPN conference, and in this conference we will explore themes like gender, climate, nutrition, health, and also a special segment on COVID-19 that will highlight best practices from early actors who have made a tangible difference in COVID-19. So we have different sessions that will be tailored to different profiles, from impact investing, strategic philanthropy, to family offices and corporations. So we would love to have you join us there. If you are a AVPN member, or if you are a funder or resource provider, you can visit the AVPN website to see how you can register for your ticket, if you have not already done so. So yeah, please join us for the upcoming DoShare Live sessions, which hopefully we can update on more information soon on the projects that are speaking. And I think, yeah, that's all for the webinar today. So I hope it was useful for you to understand DoShare's work in supporting our social purpose organizations. And if we have not answered any of your questions, please feel free to email us. And we have a post-webinar survey as well, which will be very helpful if you can help to just get 1 minute to take 5 questions in the survey, just to see if we can connect with you on a deeper level to explore further engagement. And the relevant links on the various platforms that I've shared earlier are in the box as well if you want to share more about this. So we'll just keep this screen on for about a few minutes just so you can just toggle between these different links. So yes, that's all for today. Thank you everyone for attending this webinar. I hope it was useful to you and wish you a wonderful evening ahead. Thank you.